Greetings everyone and welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys all of the costs associated with my next private label product from launch going into the second reorder. Now, this is going to be extremely beneficial for someone who's just thinking about getting into private labeling on Amazon, or someone who already is private labeling and wants to see the costs associated with a high-end product. Now, for those of you who are new and don't know me, my name is Kris and I've been selling on Amazon a little bit over a year. Now, on my channel, I primarily talk about online arbitrage and wholesale, which are completely different business models to private labeling. But I actually did start with private labeling on Amazon. And all private labeling is finding an underdeveloped niche that has problems that have not yet been solved. And we're coming into the marketplace with our own product that solves those problems, and then we capture sales based on that. I've had 3 failed products and they were more failures than they were successes. And the reason why I feel comfortable going into this 4th product that I know is going to kill it is not only because of what I've learned from those products, but the network of people that I've built up in the process. And, so if I have any issues, which I know there's going to be issues, I can go to them and be like, look, I'm having an issue with this particular area on the product. And that is so important when doing something like this, guys. And, the best advice I can give is go to those Amazon meetups, get in all of the Facebook groups, network. And, it may mean buying a course or whatever, but just get someone's help that has been there and done that. And the last thing I'm going to say before we hop in the computer is I don't want to come off as a know-it-all. One of the biggest mistakes I made on this channel was show you guys that $150,000 product and that you can find in 10 minutes when I haven't even done that myself yet. I want to be as authentic as possible and, just share things as they come. So I'm going to share you guys the good, share the bad, reflect on that, and share it with you guys. So if that's something you might be interested in, be sure to subscribe. Now let's go ahead and get in the computer. All right, guys. So what I did was I created a startup tab, and then I have total profit where it breaks down like the macro overview. I'm really excited about this, not only because of the numbers, but I just love Excel. So let's go ahead and get right into it. The first thing I did was I broke down the before ordering costs. These are like right off the bat. So I have 5 samples. Okay. So 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and 5 came from one supplier. Really, my theory behind this is 3, 4, and 5 are from the supplier I really like, and 1 and 2 they're more expensive coming from other suppliers, and I'm just making sure that the cheaper supplier has that same quality. So that's really my theory behind this. And then the next thing is loan fee. Now, I don't recommend doing this, and I briefly mentioned it in my last video, but I did get a business loan. And when your business is less than 24 months old, it is extremely hard, no matter how good your personal credit is. I had a personal credit score of 762, which is pretty good, and I could not get a business loan at all. And it's because my business was less than 24 months old and they only had 1 tax return to base it off of. So what I ended up doing was using a third-party service that helps you get a business loan. That I want to add, this $4,200 is a little less than 10%. They're taking a cut of what I got approved for, which seems like a lot, but in terms of, I'm just adding it as a business cost, and I added it into the initial startup cost of the product. Now, I'm going to elaborate on all of these, guys. So the next thing is the listing. So this is what goes into the startup cost of the listing. So we have $400 for keywords. Now, do I know how to do keywords? Yes. But is there someone who knows, who's probably an expert? Of course there is. So I found an expert that can do my keywords for $400, which I'm not going to disclose. Then my photography, that's $700. Now here's my theory behind the photography. I found an excellent Amazon service that does 9 photos, 2 lifestyle photos for $700. One of the biggest mistakes I made on my photography was cheaping out. I will not cheap out on photography. You could have the best product in the world. If you cheap out on photography, it is the biggest waste of your time. Now, are there probably cheaper routes? Yes, and let me explain. What I did was I posted an ad on Craigslist, and I'm kind of like building a portfolio of different photographers, and I'm offering to pay $350 for 12 photos, which is half the cost based on the photos that this particular photographer or service that I'm going to use does, they're going to have to be really, really good. I will not cheap out on my photos. The next thing is video ad production. That's another 400 bucks. Basically, that's a video of my product that I can use in Facebook ads, which is extremely important. You know, I'm overestimating all of these, and I'm being conservative in all areas of this product, just to let you know. Now, the next is giveaways. Giveaways are what we use to get rankings in the Amazon system. Now, I do want to say that I'm not actually giving away any products of this particular unit. I have a way that I can do that, and I'm not going to disclose it. It is a little gray hat-ish. But I do intend on selling some of these units, which means that when I sell the units, that's a 15% Amazon fee. And if I do that for 50 units, that's right here. I have the formula, as you can see right here, but that's $1,600. Okay, then you have the barcode, because you have to have a barcode for your product. That's 20 bucks, because I am doing G1. And guys, I do want to say that, like, if you're starting private labeling and you're going a little less high end, you don't have to go all out like I did. But when you're dropping, and we're going to get down to how much I'm spending with my supplier, I'm not taking any chances. I'm being as aggressive as possible. And if you didn't watch my last video with Matt Loberstein, he explains how basically it's almost just as risky as someone being defensive. So with their money, so let's say they have only $1,500 and they're being extremely conservative. That's riskier than just going in all in 100%, which is what I'm doing here. Now, the next is Facebook ads and influencer marketing. So I've budgeted $350 to, you know, trial and error, split testing Facebook ads, you know, contacting influencers. I think $350 is more than enough to start. And then PPC on Amazon, that's $1,200. You know, that's an estimate. It may be a little bit more, it may be a little less. Now, the next is we have brand creation. Now, Fiverr name. I actually got the name for this product. I used a Fiverr service that basically gives you brand idea names. I'm the worst at picking out names. They gave me like 20 names for 12 bucks, and one of them was amazing. So, you know, I did that. Logo design, Fiverr.com, 32 bucks. I split tested a lot of different logos, and I really liked a couple of them. Now, Craigslist ad posted, that was for the photographers that I mentioned. It now costs $3 to post an ad on Craigslist, at least in my area. And, you know, I added up all of the costs, which was, you know, all of these costs totaled, and it's $9,800 for startup cost. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to roll into the fixed cost of this product, and these are going to be more consistent on a month-to-month basis. So assuming that, you know, I reorder, these are going to be things that are associated with the product. Now, Amazon account. The reason why I'm dedicating an Amazon account fee to this product is because although I do online arbitrage and wholesale, I got Amazon's permission, you have to do this, to create a second account, which will be just for this brand. So that's $40 every month. Inspection fee. And this is not more of a monthly basis. This is more for just a reorder basis, which I plan on selling this amount of units per month. So inspection fee, that's $350 right there. Barcode labeling, I have my supplier do that. That's 50 bucks. Cost of item plus bundle shipped. Now, this is an estimate because I have $28,000. Now, that's for 500 units. That also includes a bundle, and that includes my logo. That includes everything. Now, this is an estimate. In reality, it might be a little bit more. It could be, you know, closer to 32,000. And then we have returns. Now, the way I counted returns was basically 1% of my total order. And I forget the exact formula I used, but that came out to be about 250 bucks. And then as you can see, I don't have these two columns filled out. Now, PPC plus eBay sponsored ads. Apparently, I added PPC twice, so that's not good. But anyways, total cost comes out to be $29,677. In reality, it probably will be a little bit more. So I'm going to bank on 32,000, to be honest. Now, this next setup I have is the fun one, and I think it's going to be fun to dive into. Okay, so we have gross revenue dollar we're going to go down this really quickly. So we have the sale price of my item, which is $199.99. Now this is just an estimate. I'm probably going to have to lower the cost in the beginning, even though I do have a bundle to accumulate sales volume, accumulate reviews, and get that ranking that I want. I have in the notes possibly lower, but stay proportional. So what I mean by that is the 15% fee that you get charged for selling anything on Amazon will be proportional as if it were a lower price. Now that's total sale price of $99,995. Now we take the startup cost, the fixed cost, and we have a $15,000 in Amazon fees, an FBA fee of 10 grand, which is an estimate, but it comes out to be about 10% of the product cost. And then we have total first order expenses. So I'm showing all of the expenses. This includes FBA fees after I've sold everything. First order expenses, I'm looking at $64,000. Now the following order expenses, meaning, all those startup costs are gone, it will be $54,000 after I've sold everything. Now, the next thing is what I broke down was first order profit and then second order profit. So off that first order, worst case scenario, I make about $35,000. Isn't bad. Like, this is worst case scenario, which I highly recommend always planning for worst case scenario. And then second worst case scenario is I make $45,000. So look at this, guys. I spend $65,000 on the first order. I make $35,000. Second order, I spend $55,000. I make $45,000. That's absolutely mind blowing. Okay, to break that down. Now, what I did here was the first order after taxes and then the following order after taxes. So I took another 20% for taxes. So this means that after the first order, worst case scenario, I make $28,000 after taxes. And then the next one is I make $36,000 after taxes. So that is all of the costs. These are estimations. And the whole reason for showing this is after everything's said and done, I can go back into the Excel sheet and I can be like, ooh, wait, this was higher, and I can make tweaks. Oh, wait, this was lower. I can make tweaks. This is a business. You got to map out all the costs. For those people who don't map out all the costs, I learned in business school, 80% of businesses end up going out of business in the first 5 years. And one of the reasons is because they don't track their financials. So I highly recommend setting up something like this, guys. I love Excel and hope you guys got a lot of value out of this. I will see you in the next one.